We did this for number 1 in class. So let's start with our y here. Remember, if y is by itself, then we substitute it to the other equation. I'll put EQ for equation. So we will substitute it into this equation. So step 1, substitute y equals x minus 4 into the other equation. So I will color this equation blue. So first step, negative x minus 3 over 2 y, so I'm color coding, equals negative 4. Okay, now I will substitute in y equals x minus 4, so negative x minus 3 over 2 times x minus 4. Okay, that means there's no more y. We plugged in x minus 4 for y, equals negative 4. So that is our first step. Now we're going to distribute negative 3 over 2 times x minus 4. So make sure you include the negative here. So we're going to distribute negative 3 over 2 to x minus 4. Okay. So let's rewrite it with a distribution. So we have negative x, negative 3 over 2 times x is negative 3 times x over 2. Now we do negative 3 over 2 times negative 4. We know that a negative times a negative is a positive. So I'll put plus, and then 3 times 4 over 2. Okay, all I did was distribute negative 3 over 2 times x, negative 3 over 2 times negative 4, which is equal to negative 4. Okay, next, let's just simplify it. We have negative x minus 3x over 2. 3 times x is just 3x. Plus 3 times 4 is 12 over 2 equals negative 4. Okay, so I'm just going to include 1 here because you will use that in step 3. So since we have fractions here, right, let's make all of them into a fraction. So I'm going to substitute, since this is a whole number, 1, I can substitute in, what should I substitute? I can substitute in something with the same denominator as these two. So we have the denominator of 2. So that means I can substitute 1 equals 2 over 2 because the denominator here is 2. I could also substitute in 3 over 3, 4 over 4, 5 over 5. It depends on the denominators here. So in this case, we are going to substitute in 2 over 2 because the denominator here is 2. Okay, so we also have another whole number, which is negative 4. I want to have negative 4 as a fraction, so I will multiply 2 over 2 to get the same denominator, which is negative 8 over 2. Now I'm going to substitute it in. So we're going to start with negative 2 over 2 x minus 3 over 2. So make sure you don't forget the x, plus 12 over 2 equals negative 8 over 2. Okay? So now, the reason why we can take out all those 2's is because if we multiply everything by 2, all of these 2 will cancel out. Okay? So we can just get rid of these 2's. And we're left with negative 2. Negative 2x minus 3x plus 12 equals negative 8. So now let's combine like terms. These 2 are like terms. We have the same variable x with an exponent of 1. Negative 2x minus 3x equals negative 5x. Now let me use green. Negative 5x. And I will move this 12 to the other side, so I will subtract 12 on both sides. So this becomes a 0. This becomes negative 20. Next step is we divide negative 5 on both sides. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so x equals 4. Okay. Oh, I basically jumped into step 4. Anyways, so solve for x, we did that, that's step 4. Step 5 is we plug in x in the first or second equation. Let me just put some space in here. Delete some spaces. Okay, there we go. So for x, we did that. And then plug in x for the first or second equation. Our first equation was y equals x minus 4. So let's plug in our 4. So we have y equals 4 minus 4. So y equals 0. So my ordered pair is 4, 0. Okay. All right. This is my x, this is y. It's not always going to be 0 here. It's just a coincidence that my examples have zeros here. So that's that. It's not that bad. If you have any questions, let me know.